What's up, guys, and welcome back to Why Well Friends English. Today's video, we're going to talk about a or and for English words starting with an H. And does English have two H sounds?
This is your next pronunciation check lesson. Before we continue on, I want to let you guys know that we've created a worksheet for you. You can find the link below. It's going to take you to a page and ask for your emails. That way we can email the worksheet PDFs to you. But what you can do is you can open those up, work through the worksheets, because this lesson today and next week, we've got videos coming out for those worksheets. So you can work right along with us to make sure you apply right away what you are learning.
First, we got to answer the question is, what are a and an?
A and an are what we call indefinite articles. Now, articles are a, an, and the in English. That's it. Just those three words. But the is specific, and a and an is indefinite. So you have definite and indefinite articles. Now, one of the big questions we get sometimes is, why does English have two indefinite articles?
Right. And generally speaking, people will answer it very simply as if the noun starts with a consonant, you use a. If a word starts with a vowel, you use an. And generally speaking, that's true, but not all the time.
You see, English, one of its father languages, if you will, is ancient Greek. And in Greek, they also had something similar to a and an. They had an they inserted a consonant sound after the a sound in order to make it easier to transition the mouth into pronouncing a word starting with a vowel sound. So if you think about it, a apple is actually much more difficult to say because you have to separate a and apple. But in English, we really like to link similar sounds. So we would rather say a apple.
Or using the general rule, it would be an apple.
But that's far more comfortable in articulation in our mouth and in the way we pronounce things. And it's just easier. It sets us up easier to pronounce things properly. Now, for you guys, you might be really struggling with pronunciation in general and articulating sounds properly. So maybe for you, a apple might sound a lot easier to say. However, you have to put that extra pause in there and make sure the a and the apple is separated.
Apple.
The two vowel sounds are separated out. English speakers don't like to do that. So we say an apple instead.
Right. Because you end up with diphthongs all over the place.
Yeah, you end up with diphthongs that shouldn't be there. So then you have two vowels right next to each other in pronunciation for two different words, but still right next to each other. And that makes us uncomfortable. We really don't like doing it.
So the 5 vowel sounds in English are A, E, I, O, and U. These make different sounds considering because we only have 26 letters in the English alphabet, but we have 44 sounds. So we have to be able to combine different vowels together to make all the different sounds that we have in English. But the question is what does that make H? If it's not A, E, I, O, or U, that makes it a consonant. So if you're going to use that general rule, it's going to say that you have to use A for all these H words.
A house, a hat.
A hair.
Yeah, like a single hair.
So all these things are H words, but as we're going to see in today's video, there's actually 2 different H sounds.
So here's our pronunciation check today. H has 2 different sounds in English. It's got with breath and without breath. Technically, we call this aspirated or unaspirated. Yes, it's very much like that. So words like hour and honor, you don't pronounce that H at all. So you don't say hower and honor.
Yeah.
That sounds so weird.
And part of this difficulty is because English's spelling is weird. Just
maybe once they did pronounce it that way, but
not anymore. So we keep the letter, but we have that pronunciation that has changed, and we have to change with it.
Now, we want to make a note here. Many other languages have a voiced H sound or a glottal H, so they have more of a sound. And maybe there's different levels of this. You should not be doing that. You need to put your hand on your throat here when you say house, hat.
If you put your hand on your throat, you can feel that there's no vibrations, there's no shakiness in your throat. It's clear, it's clean.
Right. But the unaspirated H is the same because it has no breath. Hour, honor. That vibration that you hear is for the rest of the word. Because if you just do just a silent H, it's nothing. Exactly. So this is one of the things you need to make sure that you're doing. You're doing an English H sound for either one of them. But it's kind of funny to call the silent H a sound, but it counts because we put it in our words.
Right. So the reason why this is important is because whether or not you make an aspirated H or an unaspirated H determines what indefinite article you use. If you make an unaspirated H, like the word hour, then you use the vowel sounded indefinite article of an
Right.
hour.
Because the H is silent, the first sound you hear is actually a vowel sound.
Right. Take that general rule, throw it in the trash can. The proper rule for a and an and when to use them is, does it start with a vowel sound, not with a vowel letter?
Yes, we're doing this today because it is not about what you see, it's about what you hear.
Right.
So we should say an hour or an honor. So
right.
It is an honor to meet you.
Or I will see you in an hour. So we have an honor and an hour.
Yes. Well, so today is a short lesson and we had a lot of pronunciation and grammar go together. But just remember that this is important in speaking, but it's also important in writing. So for you, why is this important? Oh, will we really notice if you don't put the proper indefinite article before an H word?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we do.
What it does to native speakers is shows that you have created a rule. It's not a bad rule.
No.
It's a general rule, but it's off base just enough. It shows us that English is not your first language.
Right. Which is okay to some degree, but if you're in a proper context or you're doing a presentation or you're in a university context, we understand that you don't want to come across as embarrassed. You don't want to feel embarrassed. But that's one of the things that you've got to watch out for. This is one of the things to point out to help you get your English more proper in these specific circumstances.
Right. And also, like Amber said, is that when you actually use the right indefinite article, it sets you up for the next sound that is to come.
Yes.
So if you say an house, it's going to be much more difficult when you get into the groove of English and you get into the pronunciation and the rhythm. Likewise, if you say a hour, it's going to be difficult for you to distinguish that. So using the proper definite article is not just for making yourself less embarrassed, it's also to set you up for better pronunciation for the words that follow.
Absolutely. Like I said before at the beginning of the video, I have a worksheet for you. Just make sure you click the link below in the description. Go put your email in the box. In that email, we're going to send you more. As we try out more YouTube videos, we're going to send you more worksheets so that you guys can keep practicing too. Next video, we're going to get into another exception with this rule, another tricky one with a and. That's very tricky. So you can see a little bit of it in the workbook. Go ahead, make sure you download that.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.